Hi everybody, welcome back to Full Moon Laboratory. This is episode 3 in our series of exercises, our series on exercises that you do off the saddle so that your cycling is a lot more improved. Previously, we have covered wrist strength or grip strength, and we have also covered ankle strength. Today, we are going to talk about shoulder strength. Now, why do you need a lot of shoulder strength? Because that is kind of like the pivoting point between how your weight is distributed onto the handlebar. It also acts as another layer of suspension. All the shock is kind of transferred here before it goes into the rest of your body. These joints need to be strong, irrespective of if you're a mountain biker or a road biker. If you just see how you sit on a bike, even if it's like a nice hybrid, relaxed hybrid, there's a lot of pressure falling on your shoulder. We're going to do some exercises that will help you make these shoulder joints a lot more stronger so that when you are spending more time on the bike, they're kind of a lot more done. Ooh, that was loud. All right, so coming back to it, they're done a lot more easier. So people who spend, again, these exercises are not for pros. This is not for people who are looking at getting that competitive edge. If that's what you want, then leave a comment below. We can tackle that issue separately. But this is for people who commute on a regular basis, enjoy their weekend mountain biking, or do the occasional 100 or a 200 kilometer ride. These exercises are for you. Anything else, if you were looking at doing anything else on the bike, then you might not, these exercises might not be sufficient. You will need something a little more intense. But hey, leave a comment. We can get into that. Ooh, Aussie man's flowing in me now. All right, if you don't know what Aussie man is, I'll leave a link to that below. Keeps you sane. All right, so we're going to break this down into three sets or three different modes of exercises. First is for what you do just around your cycling. So the first is what you do as a warm up. This is especially important for people who come back from a ride, any distance or any intensities ride, but you come back with from the ride a little bit sore or tense on your shoulder. So it's very important for you to warm up and cool down after the ride. So we're going to tackle that first. Your warm up, you might have done this in school. It's basically just nice big circles at your shoulder. All right, do about 20 of these in each direction. Now we're going to make it a little tense. We're going to make really tiny circles. Yeah, this is going to add some resistance to your shoulder. So really tiny circles, 20 of these in both directions. Do this before you start riding. Should help out a lot. Should help control a lot of these little sore days that you have after you ride. Now, second layer of help for the soreness is basically done after your ride. So you come back from the ride, do a nice little shoulder stretch. Use the opposite hand. Keep this locked. Keep your elbow locked. Just put the hand below the elbow and pull it inward. While you're doing this, don't turn your torso. Hold your torso stiff and just pull your arm. You feel a nice little stretch going from here to here. Do that on both sides for about 30 seconds. That's post ride. So pre ride is nice big circles and nice tiny circles, and then you come back after your ride and do these stretches. Do them for about 30 seconds. Come back to neutral and then shift your sides. Make sure you stretch on both sides. Now, second bit. Second bit is what I'd like to call, well, I don't think I have a specific name for it, but it's just meant to enhance the weightlifting capacity or the weight bearing capacity of your these specific muscles that we're going to talk. Now, if you look at how you ride a bike, even if it's a mountain bike or if it's a road bike or a TT bike, there's a lot of weight on the shoulder. So we're going to mimic those same postures, but we're going to add a little bit of resistance. You guessed it, we're going to do some push-ups. Yeah, I don't know if every cyclist doesn't like doing push-ups, but I know a lot of them out there. So we're going to start with some basic push-ups, and what I call these are as these are general purpose push-ups. They're not meant to target like just your chest or just your triceps. This is general purpose push-ups, and they kind of do a lot of good for your shoulders. So I'm not going to teach you how to do a push-up. I'm sure most of you know it, but I'm definitely going to teach you how not to do a push-up, because I've seen a lot of people do this wrong. We're going to tackle the first issue, which is how wide do you keep your hands? Is it this much or is it this much? So what you do is you just put your little thumb on the ground, open your pinky fingers, connect your thumb to the pinky, open your pinky finger again, and that's where you keep your palm. Now, if you look at it, this is basically just straight under your shoulder and a little bit wider. All right, that's where you keep your palms for your general purpose push up. And I've also seen a lot of people flare their elbows out like this. That's also not too great. Flaring it in or tucking it in is the best solution, but again, tucking it too much towards your shoulder or towards your rib cage is mostly for your triceps. It's not that great for your shoulders. So we're going to find a happy median. This is one extreme, this is the other. We're going to rest it somewhere here. And we're going to keep that posture as we go up and come down. And when we go up, we got to make sure that our elbows are locking. Very important. All right. The other thing is you never let your butt drop or pick up while you're doing your push-ups. So imagine a straight line from your shoulder to your hip and from your hip to the toe or to the ankle. So that's a straight line that you need to maintain while you're doing your push-ups. No dropping, no lifting. All right, so now we are going to move into the planks. Now we're going to do a nice clean elbow plank. We don't need an elevated plank because we kind of managed the same set of exercises while we're doing our push-ups. So we're going to tackle what is not already addressed in the push-up, and that's doing your plank. So again, there is a width to how far you keep your elbow. You measure it like this, hold it straight. Again, no lifting your trunk up and down. Keep it nice and level. Same rule, shoulder to hip is a straight line, and that same straight line follows from the hip to your ankle. Now, do about 10 push ups in a flow. Take a break, come back and do another 10. Take a break, come back and do another 10. So, I would recommend doing these on every weekday. So, the push ups and the planks, you can do them on an every weekday. So, you're essentially doing about 30 push ups, and you can hold the plank for a maximum of a minute. So set your timer. Now here's how you build the progression. All right. So if you are somebody who cannot do 10 push-ups at a stretch, it's okay. Try something called as the knee push-ups. So instead of resting your weight on your toes, you rest it on your knees. Now do 10 of these. I'm sure you can manage doing 10 of these. So do the same flow. You do 10, break, 10, break, 10, break. Do them every day or every other day. If you're sore, don't work them out. Give them a day's rest. Do this for a week. The following week, do only 8 of your push ups on your knees and try to do 2 of your push ups on your toes. Now follow that same count for the rest of that week. The following week, the third week, do your knee push ups for about 6 reps, 6 counts, and then try to do 4 on your toes. So you get where I'm going. So use this progression till you reach a point where you're able to do 10 push-ups on your toes. Then you can do the same flow, 10 push-ups, break, 10 push-ups, break, 10 push-ups, break. So irrespective of you're doing on your knees or your elbows your knees or your toes or a combination of it, every day you do your push do set of 10, take a break, set of 10, set of 10. So you should be able to do 30 push-ups, irrespective of what kind, if they're on your knees or your toes or a combination. Do 30. All right. If you can do this on a daily basis or at least all 5 weekdays, great. If not, build up to it. Now, in terms of the plank, yes, there is a world record for holding a plank, but as long as you're able to hold it without a lot of shivering for a minute, that's fine. But if you feel you want to add a little more challenge to that, do something that I call as a buzzsaw plank. So you're just basically hinging at your ankle. So you can hold it for a minute while you're doing this. Even if that's not sufficiently challenging, then of course you're at a level that's higher than what we are functioning at right now. You need a little more challenging exercise, then leave a comment. I'll tell you a kick ass variation for a plank. All right, leave a comment and we can address that issue separately. So what you're doing is spending about say 20 minutes on a daily basis, and a push up is an overall exercise, so is a plank. So it's not just 20 minutes spent only on your knees, shoulders, it's spent on most of the rest of your body as well. Now the third is basically to help you increase your range of motion or bring in a little more mobility to your shoulder joint. Now this is where things get a little fun. The first exercise is I don't know. I've seen a lot of people, really go crazy about this exercise. They're not as fit as they think they are when they do this exercise. It's very simple. Put your hands together, but make sure your elbows are touching each other as well. Right? So I'm going to do a 45 degrees so you can see me better. Now, with this posture, Try to lift your hand up. It helps if you're not wearing your glasses because it kind of increases your range. Just lift your hand up as high as you can, hold it for 5 counts, and then drop it. So the aim is to try and increase how high you can go. And yeah, try it out. Let's see how good you are at this. The second version of the mobility exercise, you will start needing some kind of equipment now. I use an old karate belt. This is orange. This is how high I went in the ranking for karate. You can choose anything. It could be a belt, it could be a stick as well, but it's got to be quite wide, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to have some force on it. Sorry, we're going to have some force on it, some kind of an opposing force, like we're trying to rip it apart. And our elbows are straight, right? We're going to keep this. If you can see it, you're going to keep it somewhere there. Right, that's your starting point, and then you lift it up over your head, and then till you reach a point where it touches your back. This is fun. This is really fun. So if you were to look at it the other way around, elbows tight, pull it apart, come down, touch. Do 10 of these. Do 10 of these and do 10 of these. Your shoulders will be really good. Now, with this, the goal is to try and reduce the distance between your arms. So, as and when you feel comfortable, just try going a little closer. So, if this is where I can do this, yeah, I'm gonna go a little closer and see if I can achieve it. Yeah, no, I'm stuck. I'm really stuck. So yeah, Rome is not built in a day, guys. Take your time, build through this. So if you have to break it down, there are two exercises that you do just around your riding, which is the warm up and the cool down. These nice big circles and the tiny circles, do 20 of those in both directions. After you're done with your ride, do some stretch, pull it, no rotating the torso, keep the torso locked, just pull your arm, then do the push up and the plank. The idea is to be able to do a set or a round of 30 push ups broken down into three sets of 10 each. You can either do them on your knees or on your toes or a combination of them. Try to do them every day or 5 days a week. Follow it up immediately with a 1 minute plank. Again, if you're not able to hold a plank for a minute, keep your timer on, hold it for as long as you can. 20 seconds, you're done, get off. But try to get back onto the plank posture till that 1 minute is up, and then slowly build up to it. And if that is sufficient, and if you feel it, you need something a little more challenging, then try the burst saw plank or the hacksaw plank, depending on what your preferences are for sawing tools. And if that's also not enough and you want something a little more challenging, leave a comment and then we can address that issue. All right, guys, I hope this whole lockdown situation and the coronavirus situation gets over really quick and everybody's recovering fast, and hopefully we all get to live our usual lives again soon. Stay home, stay safe, and get to these exercises. We're gonna be better riders when we come back. All right, see you guys. Bye. Now, the exercises that we're going to talk about are not for Uber performers. This is not for people